Good evening, everyone. So, today we are going to see a brief overview on the test strategy template as part of STLC. So guys, what are we discussing right now means in an STLC, we have a test planning phase that comes the first phase STLC. In the planning phase, we have a two types of documents that we will prepare. One is a test plan and the second one is a test strategy. So the test plan document that we have already discussed in the yesterday's session. And now today, I just want to show you about the test. Okay, the test strategy document. With this, we can say that the test planning phase got completed. And after that, we will jump on to the next phase, which is a test analysis phase. Today, we will start with this analysis phase. But before that, let's complete this test strategy template. Okay, as mentioned earlier, guys, whatever the documents we are preparing as part of the testing phase, these are a simple Word or Excel or a PowerPoint presentations. Okay, these are a Word, Excel, and as well as a PowerPoint presentations only. So it means organization to organization, the template structure will change. It's not going to be one and the same for all the organizations. Every organization has their own customized templates. So here, what I'm doing right now means I'm trying to open a test strategy document which we used in our organization. So this test strategy contains all the information related to the testing phase in the project. That's the first thing. And which includes the timelines, who are all the resources working, what are all the types of testing working on a project, what are all the details, everything will be there as part of this test strategy. Usually the strategy will be of a PowerPoint presentation. Majority of the organizations are using the test strategy as a PowerPoint presentation so that it can be easily represented, or you can easily show this presentation to the customers. Okay, you can easily show this presentation to the customers. Good. Done the deal. So let me open the test strategy that we are using as part of the sessions. So at the end of the training today, I'll be sharing you these documents, the plan, strategy, everything. I'll share it with you. This is what the test strategy document is. And the first screen talks about the table of contents. So what exactly the content we have in this strategy? Overview, what exactly the strategy is, what are all the frameworks we are following, and for the entire testing phases, what is an entry criteria and what is an exit criteria. Yesterday we have seen a brief overview on an entry and exit criteria in a test plan. Entry criteria will tells you when to start a testing. Exit criteria will tells you when to stop the testing, right? When to start the testing and when to stop the testing will be decided with the entry and as well as the exit criteria. In order to work on this application, what exactly the test data requirement is, how much data we need to specify here. And test environments, what are all the various environments you are going to test it? QA environment, prod environment, pre-prod environment, dev environment, on which environments we are testing this application. Roles and responsibilities for the individual teams. How many teams are going to work on this particular project? What exactly the roles and responsibilities of an individual resources will be discussed. Process and the tools. What are all the tools we are going to use as part of this project? For manual testing, what are all the tools we are using? For automation testing, what are all the tools we are using? Each and everything we are going to discuss. And later, automation testing. So what are all the tools you are using for an automation testing? A brief overview about automation testing will be specified. And here we have a system testing. Guys, if you remember, we studied about system testing couple of days before. If you remember, when we are studying about a black box testing, it's a combination of a system testing plus user acceptance testing. System testing means testing the entire application. We call it as a system testing. So what is then a system integration testing? Right. What is the difference between a system testing and as well as a system integration testing? We should know. Let me explain you that concept first. So system testing and system integration testing. So here a small example, guys. Okay, so let me open some random application. This is the application on a ad hoc basis. I'm just opening this one. On this particular application, we have a pay now functionality. Clicking on a pay now, what it should do, usually the pay now functionality means it will redirect to your payment gateway, right? It will redirect to your payment gateway, wherein which you will complete your payment, right? Wherein which you will complete your payment, right? Initially, whenever we are developing the project, we don't have a payment integration. That's the reason. Upon clicking on a pay now button, will be navigated to PayPal login screen. That's it. We are just redirecting to that particular screen. That's what we are doing. Or instead of redirecting to a PayPal login screen, we will just show a message that payment integration is in progress. We will show that particular message. Payment was not yet completed. Moving ahead, after a couple of days, we will integrate payment gateway with this application. So it means upon clicking on a pay now, it will be redirected to PayPal screen or any other payment gateway screen. Okay, any other payment gateway screen. If it is redirecting in such a way from our application, it's navigating to the payment gateway application. There is a integration between from our application and a payment gateway. If you are testing whether there is a transaction from our application to the payment gateway application is going or not, we call it as a system integration testing. Integration between a multiple modules in the application were working properly or not, we call it as a system integration testing. Okay, guys, we call it as a system integration testing. So here, as part of an integration, you will integrate the different components, whatever you have in an application, and you will test it. So as part of a system testing, what are you doing? Basically, you are keeping some dummy data and validating that. Once we got access, then we will pay or we will integrate those things and we will validate them as part of integration testing. Okay, as part of an integration testing. Is this point clear for you guys? What is the difference between system testing and a system integration testing? Deepa, Satyendra, Raj, Gayatri, and Shobhan, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Good.
Yes.
Perfect. Done the deal. And then once we are done with this particular integration testing, let me go back here. I know what is the system testing now and what is the system integration testing. Anyways, we will study about these definitions moving ahead at the end of the manual testing concepts. Now, the next point here is end-to-end testing. So what exactly this end-to-end testing does? In the end-to-end testing, we will be verifying end-to-end functionality of the application. So as part of an end-to-end, you will test right from the starting till the end. Everything we will test. Let me show you an example on an Amazon.com. See, Amazon.com, one end-to-end scenario is create an account with Amazon, and upon creating an account with an Amazon, then log in, and upon login into the Amazon, search for a product, add a product to the cart, add a product to the cart, and then complete a payment. Upon completing the payment, verify order details, track shipment, and log out from the app. So it means if you clearly observe right from the sign up till the logout, this whole process, we call it as an one end-to-end scenario. We call it as an one end-to-end scenario, guys. So the similar way, maybe the another end-to-end scenario for this particular one is, okay, what it's going to be the next another scenario is login, search, add a product to the cart, add a product to the cart, enter invalid card details, verify order details, and then log out. So whenever you enter an invalid card details, of course, it will not uh, place an order, right? In an order details screen, it should show the details that your card entered information is wrong. Something validation message should be populated, and then you need to log out. This is one end-to-end scenario. So there will be a separate team who will be dealing with these end-to-end scenarios. As an end user perspective, you need to deal with this application end-to-end scenarios. For the entire application, the end-to-end scenarios will be limited at max, depending on an application complexity, 15 to 20 end-to-end test cases you will prepare. Okay, 50 to 20 end-to-end test cases we will prepare. That's fine. Moving ahead, end-to-end testing. User acceptance testing. I know the user acceptance testing means this is the testing which was conducted by a customer or an end user from their end. That's fine. Performance testing, which is used a kind of a load testing and various performance aspects of an application. Penetration testing, so basically it's a kind of one kind of a performance test, what exactly, okay, what kind of a test they are using here. And then a regression testing. At the end, you will be doing a complete recheck of all the features what we have developed right from the day one. What are all the features we have developed, if you are considering all the features and validating that, we call this particular one as, okay, we call this particular one as a regression testing. Okay, good, done the deal. So these are all the various things that we are working as part of, okay, these are all the things that we are considering as part of
Test
this
strategy.
STLC, in which the test strategy, okay, these things falls under this particular thing. Okay, good enough, done the deal. So this is a high level overview on this particular thing. And let's see in detail about this document now. Overview. So a brief overview about the project and about the document, what exactly it contains. We have a brief overview. So what are all the key components for the testing? What is the overview of individual test phases? Roles and responsibilities will define test data, test scope, how we are maintaining your defects, what are all the stuff you need to prepare as part of a testing. Everything you will be maintaining here as part of this purpose. And after that, audience, who are all there as part of this project? Basically program leadership, development team, testing team, project stakeholders, and a third party vendors. We do have a third party vendors also for this particular application. And from now, the project testing strategy starts. So what is this strategy? What are all the various types of testing phases involved in this application? So here, what are all the various security, what are all the various testing phases involved? So unit testing, this can be conducted by the developers. System testing, system integration testing, end-to-end testing, UAT, penetration, performance testing, regression testing, and as well as a rehearsal testing. These are the various types of testing that are applicable for this particular project. Okay, this need a schedule, you need an environment, you need a code, you need a data, you need a scenario, and you need an automation tools in order to complete your testing activities. And after that, this is saying that for unit testing, what is the scope and what is the out of scope? What is the definition of this unit testing? We should know. For the system testing, what is the scope? What is the out of scope? Scope means usually you know that what things needs to be considered, and out of scope means which things we are ignoring will be considered as part of an out of scope. For the individual testing, okay, what are all the types of testing applicable? So we are just specifying the individual testing types and defining their scopes. After that, so for development of feature, what exactly the timelines required? For testing those features, what exactly the timelines required? We are just specifying here. For testing, these are the timelines basically. You will be performing the system testing from this sprint to some this sprint. You will be doing an integration testing from this sprint to sprint. So like that, we will be specifying the timelines for the entire testing activity. And after that, we are going to use agile methodology for this particular project, in which we are using a epic feature. Under the feature, we have a user story, and under the user story, you have a task basically. This is a hierarchy. We'll see about this thing moving ahead once we started with this agile methodology. And if at all you want to design a test approach, so the system testing will be of this kind basically. Each dot represent a script or a group of scripts that in a isolation basically. The system integration testing basically, it will tells you that the integration between a multiple modules, and end-to-end testing and a user acceptance testing will tells you that you need to test in all the possible combinations for the entire application. And after that, who will be doing this unit testing, who will be doing this system testing, integration testing, who is responsible for an end-to-end user acceptance and as well as a rehearsal testing, who are all responsible for the individual testing activities will be listed down, and what kind of a frameworks we are following. So the first thing is basically you have a user requirements as part of a user stories. From the user requirements, you will create your test cases, and you will execute the test cases in a multiple iterations. Multiple times you will execute your test case. Whenever you are executing one set of execution, you need a test data. You will be executing that on a test data, and results will be published. So whatever the test cases you are preparing, you will execute it for multiple times, and a multiple times you need to configure the test data, and how many times you have executed, you need to publish the result at those many times. Whenever you are executing the test case, if you encounter any defects, you will log a defects. If at all any defect was raised, the developer will do a round of analysis on that defect, and once he fixed the defect, then we will retest the defect, and if it got a fixed, we will close it, else we will reopen it. The complete defect life cycle and other things we will study moving ahead. Okay, what is the entry criteria for your testing? So there are a multiple testing phases are there: unit testing, system integration testing, end-to-end user acceptance. For the individual testings, what exactly the entry criteria is there, and what exactly the exit criteria is there, we need to specify. And what is the test data required, what is the test environment required for that particular application, and what are all the various tools you are using will also be specified here. And then the roles and responsibilities, like they will specify the resources, which resource is responsible for which activity. We will be specifying the roles and responsibilities also. Okay, the roles and responsibilities will also be specified here. Okay, it's just a template where in which we are listing down all the things, and what kind of a tools we are using as part of this project. So we are using, as part of this project, we were using Zira, XUI test, APM, multiple tools are there. All these tools we are just listed down here. Okay, how many tools you are using, you will be specifying all the set of tools here. If at all any customer specific requirements are there, you will list down. The customer asked us to test the mobile on an iOS 12 version and iOS 13. The customer asked us to do it on an Android 7, 8, 9 and a 10 versions. You will list down each and everything here itself, so that it will be having a clear cut idea on it. Okay, good. Done the deal. And then the next point is, what is the test automation tool you are using? What is the benefit of an automation testing? And what would be the timelines for these automation testing? And what is the plan? Everything we will specify. What is the plan for a system testing? So what are all the timelines for that? And what is the plan for a system integration testing? The similar way, what is the plan for an end-to-end testing? Who are responsible for these activities? What is the plan for a user acceptance testing? Who are all responsible? Performance testing, who are all responsible? Penetration testing, who are all responsible? Regression testing, each and every testing activity followed by a respective things we will be specifying here as part of this test strategy document. So this strategy document will be shared with the customer, stating that, buddy, we are following this process. We are going to use these many tools. As part of a regression testing, we will use this. As part of some other testing, we will use this. Like that. Everything we will be documented here as part of, okay, everything we will be specified as part of this particular chunk. Okay, good. Done the deal. Okay, perfect. Done. Any questions for me on this test strategy document, guys? Deepa, Gayatri, Satyender, Shobhan, Raj.
No.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. Mm.
Done the deal. And then once we are done with it, STLC, test planning. The second phase out over there is a test analysis phase. As part of this test analysis phase, testers will play a crucial role here. Okay, testers will play a crucial role here. Okay, in this particular crucial role, what these testers are do, they will try to understand the application by looking into the requirements which we have. Okay, whatever the requirements a document we have, you will look into the requirement document, you will try to understand that particular requirement document itself. Okay, good. So by looking into the requirement document, you will try to understand, okay, what is this application, how this application is going to work. All these things we will try to understand. So let me show you a simple example of a requirement, and then let's try to understand that requirement and see whether we were able to understand it or not. Okay, so I'm not explaining any application as of now. So first I will show you one requirement. After that requirement, then I will explain you about the application. So here 2.1, it's the first requirement. Choose a subscription or choose a product type. Your requirement is to choose a product type. So objective is we need to select the subscription type. We just need to select the subscription type. Product team, application home screen should display, which is what a precondition for this requirement. If you want to select any product type, application home screen should display. And then what is the input data? User should select that particular product. What is the output? Whatever the product you have selected, it should store in a database. And what it should do after that, it will be navigated to certain welcome screen. So by looking into these 5 steps, what I understood is, okay, by looking into these 5 steps, what I understood is there is one screen where multiple products got displayed. I need to pick one particular product, and after that the next screen will be populated. This is what the requirement is. And now for every requirement in the real world, they will be giving you certain prototypes or a user screen mockup. So for this requirement, this is how the screen looks like. They will be displaying you like this. By looking into this screen, you can understand that, okay, for this requirement, this is how my screen looks like. Got it. So this is the way how they are representing it. So in this particular screen, if you observe, we are displaying the 2 products, and upon clicking on a next button, the next page will be displayed. That's it. I got a more clarity on this requirement now. Any questions for me on this requirement, guys? Okay, you just need to
Sounds good.
open the document, open the requirement, and try understanding that. That's it. Try understanding that particular requirement. That's fine. But one thumb rule which we guys need to follow is before jumping on to requirement document and understand the requirements, first, okay, first of all, try understanding your application. So what exactly our application is? What are we going to do as part of your application testing? So what is this application? Why are we developing? What are all the things we are going to develop as part of our project? Everything, okay? Everything we need to study. Okay, everything we need to study. Okay, good. So what I'm doing right now means right now, let me give you a overview on this application so that you can understand it more clearly. Okay, you can understand this application more clearly. So the thing is, assume that I'm working for Dell. Whenever I'm purchasing a Dell laptop, I'll be getting some discounts, right? The reason is the persons who are working for the organization will get a better discount than the people who are not working for that organizations. Okay, so here the situation is Surendra is working for a Dell organization. That's the reason he got around a 10% of discount on a laptop. Ramya is working for IBM where they don't have their own products, so she don't get any discounts. Okay, she don't get any discount for the products whichever they are purchasing. Okay, good. So the ultimate point here is people who are working for the organization who which has their own products, they will be getting a better discount. So what our organization did is, though we don't have a any products, basically, we need to develop a portal, need to develop a website which can provide better prices for any product for all my employees. People who are working for my organization, I just need to give a better discount. How can this be achieved? They created a website, and in that website, they are having a vendor details. Vendors who can supply from pencil till laptop, no matter whatever the product you want, you have a vendor for that. So the only thing that you need to do is you need to go to that software application, which is a website, and in which you can fill a form that, buddy, I need a laptop. So you can submit a request to the vendors. Vendors will respond with a better price. If you directly approach the vendor, assume that he is charging 100 rupees. Whenever you are going through our application, they are charging 95 rupees. There is a discount through our application. That's the reason this what the software application we have a developed. Okay, so the ultimate objective is every employee in our organization will have an access to that website, and this website has a vendor details. Our employee can raise a request to the vendor, and vendor can respond with his code. And for a single product for laptops, we have multiple vendors. You can request you can request a product, or you can request a quote from multiple vendors. It's not a mandatory that you need to request only one vendor. You can request quote from multiple vendors. Whoever is giving a better price, go with that particular person. Okay, whoever is giving a better price, go with that particular person. This is what the application objective is. This is what we developed this application. Is this point clear for you all, first of all, or any questions? Why we have developed this application? Everyone, any questions on this?
No.
Good. And then the next point here is, this is the application I'm working for IBM. IBM needs it. Assume that IBM is developing the application. This costs around 5 lakhs. Okay, this costs around 5 lakhs for the IBM organization. Okay, whereas here TCS wants the same portal. They need to develop a similar portal. Instead of developing the same application, they can simply reuse the app whichever we have developed if we place it on a cloud, on internet. If we place this application over the internet, anyone can simply access this portal. They can purchase the subscription and they can access it. So what we have done is, whatever the application we have developed, we place this application over the internet so that any company can take subscription from us. Means they pay rent for us. Okay, they pay rent for us, and they can use that application from their end. Okay, they can use that application from their end. That's the reason the application is having two websites basically. The first website is a registration portal where any organization can come down and they can register out over there. And the second portal is upon completion of a registration, admin can log in, user can log in, and vendor can also access. All the three folks can log in and they can perform their respective operations. This is what the second portal is. The first portal is for a registration and the second portal is for all these users with respect to the organization. So the complete application is of a two websites as of now. Is this point clear for you all or any questions for me on this, guys?
Yes, clear.
Good, done the deal. So let's take a pause here for now. Okay, kindly rejoin the session so that we can continue the topic about this application. Please rejoin